a Hampton alum is being recognized for their artwork right here on the streets of Atlanta. The Congressional Black Caucus Foundation held its 52nd annual legislative conference, where they told us why Black Americans deserve reparative justice. Well, it looks like when Stephen A. Smith talks, journalism students listen. Although Professor Eaton is gone, there are still traces of him left at the Scripps Howard School of Journalism and Communications. On Sunday, the Gamma Iota chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated hosted Pink for a Purpose Tea, an event centered around Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The tree lighting proved to be magical, exciting, and most importantly, full of Christmas spirit.
No justice. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want?
Community members gathered at the New Mount Pilgrim Church in support of Sonia Massey Tuesday evening. Sonia's family and friends poured onto the stage along with family attorney Ben Crump and longtime civil rights activist Al Sharpton. This comes after former Deputy Sean Grayson shot and killed Sonia in her Springfield home earlier this month. The released body cam footage sparked worldwide outrage, something Sonia's son Malachi told the crowd he was unaware of. Malachi remembers getting a call at 5 a.m. from the hospital saying his mother had been shot in her eye and it came out the back of her head. As he asked who shot her, he got no response. All he knew is that somebody shot her. He would have never thought it would be the police. Sonia's family isn't stopping at rallies and press briefings, but with legislation.
And I'm glad the governor of Illinois met with the family, but we need an Illinois law made out in her name. Yeah.
The crowd heard from family attorney Ben Crump about the family's stance on the future.
We said to the police union, we said to the Sangamon County, until we get full justice on behalf of Sonia Massey, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
More rallies are planned in hopes of getting more support. For NABJ News, I'm Bella May.
I think when thinking of Maynard, the word that absolutely comes to mind is impactful.
Impact can take centuries for some. For others, it's years. But for journalists, Maynard Eaton, every moment was impactful. Eaton was born and raised in Orange, New Jersey. He spent the bulk of his career in Atlanta, working as a political reporter and a professor at Clark Atlanta University. But his journalism story began and ended in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. After graduating from Hampton Institute in 1971, he became the first Black reporter at then WVEC, which is now called 13 News Now. Eugene Daniel stands on the shoulders of Maynard Eaton. Daniel works as a morning news anchor at the same station that gave Maynard his start. The connection sparked after Daniel's invitation to speak to Hampton University's journalism students in 2022, where Eaton worked. Daniel credits his work to Maynard Eaton.
And I've told several people, had there not been a Maynard Eaton, there might not be a Eugene Daniel.
Eaton conducted many high-profile interviews for more than 40 years. He served as the National Communication Director for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and its magazine editor. Eaton also wrote feature articles for the Spelman College Messenger. Throughout his career, he earned 8 Emmy Awards. Although Professor Eaton is gone, there are still traces of him left at the Scripps Howard School of Journalism and Communications. "52 years after graduating from Hampton, Eaton returned to the university in September of 2022 as a journalism professor.
I started here, worked at Channel 13 here, and I hope to be able to go through me to help someone else start their career as well.
Eaton's wife, Robin, says doctors diagnosed him with lung cancer in March. The diagnosis stopped his mission to train the next generation of journalists.
When he found out he had cancer, all he could talk about was, I've got to get through the end of the semester with my kids.
Despite having faced adversity with my journalistic work, he continued to inspire me and continued to make sure that I would not give up.
Eaton died 2 months later, after spending only 9 months as a journalism professor at the school where he learned to be a journalist. Eaton left behind a wife and 4 children.
He made an impact wherever he went. It didn't matter whether it was Atlanta, Miami, Kokomo, Indiana, Virginia. I mean, he's going to make an impact wherever he goes because that was just who he was.
Good evening, Bella. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Yes, I was actually in the room, and you could feel the energy and emotion just surging and from the crowd, and they said, "No justice, no peace." They shouted again and again. Check it out.
Good evening, Bella.
Good evening, ladies. Yes, I did have a conversation with President Lemon that was very enlightening. Check it out. Your Hampton University Pirates face the North Carolina A&T Aggies on the 16th. Our reporter O'Shea Jelks gives us the scoop from the hardwood.
Here was where Hampton University and North Carolina A&T, the only 2 HBCUs in the CAA conference, faced off.
Recently uncovered, the FBI have been tracking singer Aretha Franklin for nearly 40 years. According to documents obtained in September by Rolling Loud, the FBI used methods such as false phone calls and surveillance in an attempt to see Franklin's involvement in social justice movements. For more news and updates, be sure to check out our Instagram at WHOV-TV.
Also follow us on Twitter at HUWHOV for live updates and things going on around campus.
Have a great night, everyone.